This workshop is for college admission essay writing. So I noticed that in this session, most juniors disappear because they are super busy. They are fully occupied by their summer program or something else. It's fully understandable. So here, I would say many students are sophomore, like a rising juniors. So you are going to look ahead and to see what you are going to prepare next year this time. Okay. So college application essays, the most people know is Common App essay. We have an application called Common Application, so that you fill up one form, and that's for every college you're applying. Then each form has two parts. Okay, it's a general part. It's the same. You are going to every school you're applying will see the same part, and the other part is a college-specific part. So they usually give you a few more requirements to fill up, asking you for your major information, and for your family background, and for your resume, and then ask you to write a couple more specific essays for that school. We call it Sacramento Essay. So Common App essays, starting from last year, we have 7 topics to choose for. You pick one and write it. Then the word count is 650 words. And if you write over it, the software will truncate what you write. So the college will only see 650 words from your essay. There's another application very popular. It's called collation application. In collation application, many other colleges, they don't use Common App, but they do use collation. Some schools use both. Okay, for our school, for Brown Science students, we encourage students to use Common App as much as possible because it's linked to our Naviance. Okay, your counselor will upload your recommendation letter. Your teachers will upload their recommendation letters, and the school uses the Naviance to send your school report transcript officially. Okay, official copied to college. So we have a link. The Naviance we use support a link to the Common App. So if you have this one school like such as Yale University, they offer application on both sides. They use Common App. And for collation application, usually they don't have a common essay to share for each school, but most schools, they will ask you to write an essay, and the topic is very, very similar to Common App. So if you prepare very well for Common App, most likely you'll be okay for collation. College supplemental essay. Some schools ask none, like Case Western, they don't ask you to write anything extra besides Common App. And some schools ask for a lot, like Wake Forest University at North Carolina. Sometimes they ask for 7, sometimes they ask for 10, okay? So they require lots of writing. Imagine that you apply for like 12 college, probably you end up writing like lots of essays. So most of students don't realize until they start application and find it's too late. So my suggestion is go to plan ahead, start early as possible, especially fully use your summertime. And I usually require students to finish their first draft before the school starts. Because in your senior year, you will take like 5 or 6 AP, like this is very, very normal in Brown Science. And on top of that, you have lots of extra curriculum. You're probably holding a leadership position in your club or team. There will be lots of responsibilities for you to fulfill. So don't expect that you have plenty of time to write essay in this first semester in senior year. That won't happen. Yeah. What I have seen this in 2018, right before November 1st, which is the early decision, early action deadline. And probably 3 to 5 days before that, okay, lots of seniors disappear from their class. They use different excuses to be after school because they have catch up their essay writing. And before, like during Christmas break, for the people who didn't get into their college as early, then they have to prepare their regular decision. Then what I knew is like many students finish one school's essay per day. You can imagine the quality, the writing quality. Because according to my experience, you need like 4 or 5 drafts to get decent shape for your essay. So lots of work. If you finish essay like 1 school per day, it won't work, okay? What college essay is for? It's a place to demonstrate students' characters. That means your personality, your background, including your cultural background, your family backgrounds, your talent, and your passion, okay? So don't mistake thinking, don't mix them to your resume. I would say for last year, I reviewed some college essays and I have an impression, many students, and just say, okay, this is essay and this is place I try to demonstrate how excellent I am. So they try to squeeze all their achievement into 650 words. But this essay is not your resume. You have, like many schools give you space, give you option to upload your resume in their part of their application. So it's not, okay? It's not your list of your activities. So people sometimes they write essay like that. I'm a senior in Brown Science, that I do this in my club and do this, I hold this position. That's not what we are looking for. It's not college is looking for. Probably 20 years back, this kind of personal statement is okay, but it doesn't work for nowadays. It's not your traffic collections, okay, college essays. So don't boast on like that's an achievement. I got the first one in this competition or that one your competition. That will give people an impression you are really achievement oriented, okay? Especially for Asian students. We have a stereotype on the society and people always think you work hard only for get a high score, okay? You go to the prep class from summer to summer in order to get high SAT. You don't have a life. So that's the things we try to avoid because we are not, right? We need to break that stereotype and starting from your essay writing. And essays are not only place to show your writing skills. And many students who are good at English class, they are just saying, wow, essay, that's fine. I can write excellent writing like essay in my English class. So some essay I reviewed is a perfect essay for English class. The English teacher will give them very high grade. But after I read their essays, I can get only one conclusion. This student is a very good writer. And besides that, I cannot tell what kind of person she is. So that's dangerous. We want your essay to reflect your strengths, your best selling point, okay? So let's move on to see what we do. Essays, we have 2 types. One is long essay. I will say 200, 250 words and above is long essay. That means give you space to tell a full story, even a few stories in your life to demonstrate your love, your passion, your background, and what you value. And this essay, we have to pay special attention to the ratios between show and tell. We all did show and tell when we were young, right? That means you demonstrate something and you tell something. So in college essay, it's perfectly okay to use the strategy called show but not tell. That means I want to demonstrate I'm a hardworking student, but I don't straightly talking to the admission officer. So I am hardworking, but I tell them, I share them a story. From after they read my story, they can get a conclusion. Say, oh yeah, he's really, really hardworking. Okay, so it's fine if you can use one typical story in your life and emphasize your character. That's perfectly fine. And the other way, which I prefer, is half show and half tell, because we only have 650 words. And I really, really want to fully use this space to demonstrate. Sometimes one story cannot tell you all, okay? But we need to start your essay with a story. The beginning is very important, because imagine that you are admission officer and you are asked to sit down in your office to read tons of essay every day. So you will get bored. You will you will fall asleep if the essay you're reading is not interesting. It's boring, right? They probably will give up in between. They cannot read on. So when they read the beginning, they can guess what will happen later on. So that's not a very good essay structure. So start essay with an interesting beginning. We call it build a hook. Okay. Your purpose of writing an essay is like after they read your essay, they will get conclusion. Okay. What's the positive side about you? What's your strengths? Why you are different from other applicants? Why I should admit you, not somebody else. Okay, so don't, just as I say, don't focus too much about your pure achievement, because especially for those most selective college, they have many excellent students. For example, Princeton University this year, okay, after they announced the result of 2018, they say that among their applicants, the one who qualify, who can go to their college, is 5 times as many as their one class. So that means for all those qualified applicants, you only have 1/5 a chance to get in. So if you put so much emphasis on your achievement, they will say, okay, you're just one of them. You won't able to stand out. If you want to write an outstanding essay to differentiate you and others, you have to think your uniqueness. Why you are you, not somebody else. Okay. So you can share your growing experience. We will talk about it later on. In Common App topics, there are so many topics to try to encourage you to showing how you become the current you, okay, compared to the days when you firstly entered Brown Science. So there's something happen at this school, in the school or out of school, who shape you into your current person. Okay, let's talk about the structure. I prefer the structure is like start as with a story. Okay, the story has to be interesting enough to hook readers. So that means once AO read the beginning, they cannot stop reading. They just keep on what will happen next, what will happen next. That's what we want. And so that means your story could be a little bit drama into it. Contrast, very important. So because I want to build up a strong contrast to say, okay, this interesting story, I really want to read. Basically, if you want to share your growing experience, I will start with what happened at the beginning. Maybe something unexpected happened to you or to your family, to your surroundings. Okay, how did you deal with it? What did you do to overcome it? What's your first reaction? You'll probably just by instinct say, okay, I cannot deal with it. I try to escape, I try ignored, or I try to make some silly mistakes. That's fine. And what did you learn? And how did you grow? Okay? It's not, what happened is not important, but focus on you, your reaction to the instance. What did you do? What did you learn? Like even you can learn a lot from your failure, and one of the topics about failure, said that. And how did you grow? What happened later on? After you realize what happened in your life and you learned, you pick up yourself and move on. That's what I care. And what are you doing right now? Because that's the present, okay? I want you to share what happened in the past and what are you doing presently. In nowadays, what are you doing? And the final parts, I want you to mention what's your plan in the future? What are you going to do? The past, present, and future. That's the layout, that's the line, okay? Move on, please. Okay. In your essay, there are a couple of things you need to avoid. First, achievement-oriented. Okay, you have lots of other places to indicate, to list your achievement. In Common Ed, we have a session to list all the awards you receive on different levels, international, national, region, and school level. You have lots of places to indicate that. You have the list of activities. So leave the essay to demonstrate you are a human being. Okay? One thing is arrogant and boastful. Yeah. I think students sometimes are confused when they should become confident and aggressive, and when they should keep humble. And the essay and the interview is a place you should indicate you are a humble person. College right now have they very emphasize to build up a diversified student body. That means the college you're going most likely have students with different background. They come from different country. They probably originally speak different language. They have to grow up in a different culture. So in order to let students to deal with each other peacefully, they usually focus whether you are a good team player. If you're too arrogant, too boastful, they were saying, first, it's very hard to deal with you. Imagine that put you into a dorm with 3 other girls or boys, and you probably become a troublemaker. You probably make your life miserable and make other people's life miserable. And that's not what college is looking for. They want to have the student with a very good personality, supportive, caring, and kind. Okay, and some students will have say, okay, this is the essay. I will try to show I'm more excellent than my peers so that I can get in, which is totally wrong. Okay, you have other places, your standardized test, your recommendation letter to show you are excellent, but not in the essay. So, and stop comparing yourself with your peers, okay, to show an advantage. For example, we can tell the admission office how you deal with, how you behave or how you lead a team project, okay? In Brown Science, I understand that not everyone is heavily or actively involved in a group project. Some students will say, okay, great, I'm working with Michael, that's fine, I know he's excellent. He will take care of anything. I can get a free ride for a project because I have enough to do. So I can lie down and don't do anything, let somebody else to take care of the group project. So I think he's going to get 90, so I'm sure I will going to get 90. Well, if you want to use this story to demonstrate you are responsible and you're fully engaged, the group project, even somebody else doesn't do whatever they're supposed to, and be careful and the tone you're using to describe the story. And if you're not careful, they probably will say, okay, other people are lazy, only me, I'm hardworking, I'm responsible. Look at he and Mark doesn't do his job, and Liz doesn't do his job. Be careful of this attitude. You can describe the job, same story, from another point of view to indicate you are responsible without pressing others down. And very careful, don't comment negatively on your peers, on teachers, parents, and friends. No one is perfect. I believe especially someone who happen to be in a family, like maybe the parents have some issue, the family has some issue, and you probably happen to have a very tough teacher, have very high demands, okay, requires you a lot, tough test. But focus on your growth. All these things happen, like you may think it's not fair, and why somebody has this teacher and I have this teacher. So, well, try to stay positive. And if the parents did something you think is not properly, if the teacher give you an assignment which you think is unreasonable, there's some reason behind it. Try to be understanding. Indicate that. If you cannot say something nice, and just don't mention it. Or try to say it in a neutral way, so that people can see you really have a big heart. And for the kids who happen to have a tough experience, like many of you are not born in, were not born in U.S. You probably reached this new country at age 12 and 13 maybe, so you had a tough experience to be in this new school and new country, and some parents happen like divorced, and probably one of the family member, your family member gets sick, really serious sick. Your family may have some finance difficulty, and all this experience are very nice story to share how you experience, how you went through those, how you become mature, more responsible. But stop to release any hint you have the bitterness in your heart. Because we will say, okay, if you went through those, some people say, okay, fine, I'm okay, I know how to handle that. I'm happy with my current status. And some people will complain, okay, why this happened to me? Why me, right? So we would like to see you really, really finish your journey into the hardship and really become a better person. And the religions and the political events are very sensitive, personal, okay? And we can have our own belief and opinion on our view, that's fine. But you never know the one who is going to review your essay and what position she or he has on the religions, belief, culture, and especially politicals. Yeah. So if you really want to have a very strong point of view, keep it in yourself. Because in our culture, those issues are very private, and people don't usually share their opinion unless they really know who they are talking to. Okay, so try not to be very sensitive or go extreme. Okay, and some other private information, such like your mental health information, your physical health, unless it's positive, it can support you positively into college application, You don't need to tear. They don't ask, you don't have to tear them. Okay? So it's really normal for teenagers have experienced some mood like up and down. That's fine, right? You are going to go over it. Don't keep on putting on because you don't know how people interpret your experience. Okay, let's do some simple topic analysis. There are totally 7 topics in Common App. And the first one asks you to share your story about your background, identity, interest, or talent. What can we do? You can start to review your family traditions. Does your family have some special traditions, special days to celebrate? And does your family own a business? And sometimes I know last year a student write an essay about the bakery his family runs. Now the bakery is not like, it's a very important part to their family. It's a place all family members work together. So it's not only a business, it means something. It's a bonding. Like it's a place every member work together, they love each other and they support each other. It's a wonderful and beautiful story. And those business is far beyond income. It's related to your value. And if your family have something to pass, the value or something, concept, idea, and you recognize and you share and you pass from generation to generation, that's fine to share too. Like most of the parents are new immigrants. They come to the US like just looking for a better life. It takes a lot of risk and courage to give up whatever they had and come to this new country. And how is this spirit impact you? This is part of your family treasure too. Immigration story, no, can you, yeah. And if you have naturally bound gifts, right? I remember a student shared with me a Johns Hopkins essay post on this. It's a sample essay post on the Johns Hopkins website. It's about a child who can use both hands equally. So that's his talent. So it's fine to share with it. Number 2 is about your whatever you have learned from failure, difficulty, setback. That's the story I mentioned. And how did you learn from it? And how does this lesson lead you to your success later on? Okay, so I would say it's a perfect topic from Brown Science student, right? We have many tough courses and quite a few tough teachers to deal with, okay? And besides in academic area, you can also share your stories, the challenge in your personal life, hardship in family, physical health issue, and friendship, and then other relationships. Maybe some sports, some music. Yeah, not like every task has some difficulty if you really want to move up. So I believe everyone has enough story to tell. Just try to think about it. You must have some interesting things to share with everyone. This one is about critical thinking skill, okay? Reflect at the time when you question or challenge a belief or idea, okay? Why do you think about it? Why did you think differently from other people? And what was the outcome? Have you ever tried to share your opinion with others? Have you ever tried to initiate a reform in your club or community? That's a very good story to share. Okay, you can start with your classroom discussion. Okay, we in Brown Science, we adapt a lot of debate technique into humanity class. I heard that many English class and U.S. history or history class, they not only talking like teaching the books and fiction or something happened in the past, and the teacher always ask the student or lead the student to link whatever happened in the past to the current society. So even foreign language, like a Spanish class and Japanese class, they probably talk a lot more issues than beyond the curriculum. So anything you think you and your friends used to argue about, right? Maybe any issues in society, you use applying the critical thinking skill, right? You found this issue and you even have your idea how to solve the problem. That's where you can promote. Do you have any experience you convince people? That means including your parents, your teachers, your club members, any authorities to accept your idea, right? I would say some students are very good at arguing with their parents, right? So think about it. Have you persuaded your parents to buy you a smartphone? No? That's why in the WeChat group, I always encourage parents, say, in Brown Science, you can hear lots of complaints. The bathroom is too old, too dirty, or this is too, and I will say, don't stop at complaining. If you find this school have many places to improve, and try to see what can you do, okay, what you can do. If the club is every club you're happy, you join is happy, no. People have different opinions. They should run this club this way, or they should care students' opinion of that way. So debating, we need a professional coach or full-time coach. We need funding, and every club needs funding. So what are you going to do? If you're a sophomore, and it's a perfect time for you to think about it and do something. You can write an email to your counselor, to your club teacher to promote your idea. If you think that's the way we should do, that's the way we can get new membership, new members into our club, that's the way we can improve our attendance rate, and do it. Then next year, this time, you know how to write this essay, right? If you don't do that, if you don't do it right now, and the next year, this time, you don't have any idea. Because I never done that, I never thought about that. Number 4 is problem solving skill. Okay, the problem can be like in academic area, research, or even something more complicated. So not only the academic field. So why, like this issue, you don't need to be super important. You may think that, oh, I didn't find a solution for cancer treatment, or I didn't save the world. Is there any story I can share? Yes. If the problem you solve is very important to you personally, that's what they ask for. So what I would suggest is, have you ever think about invent anything? Have you think like your home, when you do the repair, and if you solved, like if your computer is broken, have you ever tried to fix it by yourself? And doing some research, watch some YouTube video, find some solution. And if you try it, if this way doesn't work, you try another way. So that's how you get to find out a better solution. Maybe you design something for your mom, for your dad, because you find them use some certain tools which is not efficient enough. That's a good story to share. And in your robotic team, your debate team, you may have lots of trouble, I believe so. Try to overcome it. When money is not enough, what did you do? In your research, we have very strong scientific research program. And during the research, you might have lots of issues. How you overcome it? So basically, it's your problem-solving skill. The problem can be in a full spectrum, from academic to your social life, even in your personal life should be fine. That's about your personal growth. Yeah, you have a brand new understanding for yourself and others, for the world. Okay, it could be accomplishment or event or realization. So what kind of things can trick that happen? Yeah, teenage is a period full of the adventures. So I would say, have you had some very interesting or adventurous international travel? Have you ever visited some country in the third world? And for the people who get used to North American living standards, visit some part of in other worlds could be a very surprising, right, experience. So restroom, facility, road condition, air condition, the temperature control. So that will be very good for you to understand that not everyone have this fortune to stay in this country. Your transition, your personal life, okay? There were big challenge. Some people moving from one country to another, from one location to another. You change the school, and for most of you used to stay in elementary school or middle school, is much smaller than Brown size. You may got lots of personal attention when you're young, but once you jump into the Brown size, it's like swing or sink, right? It's very hard to get personal support. Everything you need to figure out and try to dig out information, and you try to be proactive to look for any resource for yourself. So that's a big change. And you never know you have this potential until you really try. Summer camp, right? Have you been in a summer camp program? Some summer program very intensive, like 8 weeks research program. You need to work long hours, and the course will be very challenging. You earn the college credit for intensive program. That's a good story to tell. Have you ever tried to go into a brand new field, academic field? Yeah, especially in your summertime. You never know that there's a field over there. In high school, we only have 5 core courses: English, math, social study, science, and foreign language. But when you had summer camp, you have more experience. You try to build up something, try to invest something, and try to write something. And you probably meet many interesting people in your camp. So that's a good experience to share. And volunteering. Okay, if you work at a homeless shelter, what did you see? Is there anything touching your heart, right? Make you change, make you think of the world from a completely different point of view. So that will be great story to share. This is for very few students, okay? Describe a topic, ideas, or concept you find so engaging, so that it makes you lose all track of time. Yeah, for some people who really like computer science and make coding, they're fascinated with math problem. They can spend lots of time on it. But I don't want you to tell the admission office you lost your track of time when you play computer games. It might be true for most of you, but it's definitely not a good story. You need to change right now. If you tell me that's the only things you lost track of your time, I'm kind of worried about you, okay? It's definitely not a good thing to think, to even try to do that in your life. So strong passions, academic, sports, music, and arts, okay? We do have a few students who have very strong passion on music and arts. They can spend many hours to practice their instrument or many hours to rehearse their drama in the theater parts. And they may spend, like some students are in our varsity teams. They spend many hours to practice their table tennis, badminton. They even spend many hours out of school to enhance their skills. So that's a very good story to share. You're passionate about something. The last topic is your free choice. That's brand new, introduced last year. It's like share on any topic of your choice. Okay, it can be one you have already written. Okay, that means if you have a very nice essay about yourself during your English class, it's okay to use that. So that means you can basically write any story you like. So that's wonderful. That's the best part of the new addition to the topics, because they give the student lots of space or freedom to choose the best way to demonstrate themselves. I would suggest a couple topics you can think about it, like the person who influenced you most in your past, maybe your mom or your dad, your teacher, your coach, your pastor, will be fine. Okay, you can share about your most memorable experience, okay, unforgettable experience, and the best book you have read, and any other impressive story you would like to share. But here I remind everyone here, okay, the story itself will be wonderful. Okay, when you write about the person who influenced me most, okay, if you think your grandma is your role model, that's fine. But don't use 400 words on your grandma, because college are not going to admit your grandma. They are trying to figure out who you are. It's not your grandma applying for the college, not your mom, your dad. They graduated from college 20 years or 30 years back. So be careful. The focus of story is still on yourself. Okay, you can describe 200 words how tough the situation was for you. Then you spend 400 words and over describe your reaction. That's perfect. Okay, but you don't use most of your article to introduce like, that's the best book I have read, and you repeat whatever the author was written. But no, I want to focus impact. I want to see how these things happened, impact your life, and how does this thing shape your life. So you spend majority of your contents focus on yourself to reflect your true nature. Supplemental essays. We do have many long essays devoted for supplemental essays. The most common one, I would say almost every school will ask you to write if they ask for a supplemental essay, is why school? Why major? Okay, why do you want to apply to our school? Why do you apply for this major? So this will be very college specific. If you write the essay, you could just change the school name and put in each school. That's definitely not a good essay to this question. You need to figure out, offer the answer, say, for example, I give you an example. I love computer science, and I also love biology. And your school happen to have a program combined from these two departments so that I can learn both. That's a good example. Okay, I love physics. I'm especially interested to what topic. And you happen to have a lab focused on that, the research in that field, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Good, okay? And if you say, I know I read papers from this professor before. I admire him or her very much. I really want to join his team. I really want to take his course, blah, 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 and that's fine, okay? Don't say, I want to go to your school because your school is famous. Reputation is not the reason, because the school are looking for a perfect fit. They want to see your personality match their campus culture. So weather is not a good reason, okay? If you say, well, your location is good, you have very nice weather, sure, there are tons of college with a good weather. Why you pick me, right? Justify your reason. You can mention about the location, yeah? Because your school is at a location full of the opportunities. It's easier for me to get internship, or it's easier for me to volunteer. That's fine. I especially love these sports, and you happen to have a very strong team, a very strong club on this activity. Good. I love serving people, especially certain group of people, and your school happen to be in this area, and I have more chance to reach out for this type of students, high school students, so that I can help out the community. Great. So try to be specific. They happen to have a program, because I remember one college, they have their mandatory program called community serving or community leadership program. So everyone has to take it. Everyone has to learn how to serve the community. Well, if you love it, just say, well, that's why I would like to apply for your college. So, okay. Some essays are only required for honor programs or merit-based scholarship. And here I need to remind you, if you really want to apply for merit-based scholarship, be careful. Every school have their specific requirement. Some college require you to submit your application before everybody else. Like a deadline probably could be regular will be January 1st. Probably you need to submit your application in the middle of December or the beginning of December. One is sometimes merit-based scholarship asks you to have interviews, and many I would say public school, they may not have enough people to review essays for everyone, but for the honor programs, they ask you to write specific essay, and some essays different from college to college, like Cornell. Not Cornell, U Michigan, okay? U Michigan, they have the essay. If you apply for engineering school, you need to write this topic essay. If you apply for other school, business school, you need to write certain essay. So it's different. From college from school to school, they're different. Okay. And when the supplemental essays, some schools keep the topic same every year, such as NYU, okay? They always ask for one question. Share me your experience with NYU if you ever visit us, okay? Why do you want to apply NYU? They ask this question every year, so that you can prepare it right now as a junior, okay? But most school will change a little bit on their supplemental essay. Right now, a couple schools have released their 2019 to 2019 essay requirement already, such as Yale, such as Emory, Chicago University, and some of them will gradually release their new topics from time to time. Like Columbia, like I was saying, the question reflect what they are looking for. If I have never got a chance to visit them, to attend their information session, you can guess a little bit what they're looking for from the question they ask. For example, Columbia University, they ask you to list your book you read for the past year, and they ask you to list any concert you have go, any art exhibition you have ever go, any lectures or workshop you have ever, seminars. So they focus about a lot on humanity. They even ask you to share the music you love, the artists you like. So that's exactly what they're looking for. You can tell. It's very important to visit a school, attend the information sessions, tour campus, and talk to the college students over there. Because that's the way you can figure out what they are looking for from the application. And then you can emphasize what they're looking for in your college application. I would say, from my personal experience, I know Harvard is looking for specific focus on leadership. They want to see your impact to the society, to the community, to the club. You try to be excellent, not only by yourself, but also you try to encourage everyone around you to become better. That's what they are looking for. Like Princeton University, they especially look at whether you have to fully take advantage of all the resources you have at Brown Science, at a school, or in your community. They assume if you used almost all the resource at a high school, you are going to use their resource when you get in their college. Otherwise, they say, okay, if you have so many opportunities in Brown Science and you never care, you never use them, how can I trust once you come to my college, I have such a big library, so many research opportunities, or so many wonderful extracurricular, but how can I trust you to be joining us? You'll probably just waste our resource. So MIT, their slogan is change the world, okay? It's the same slogan as Harvard, but they're using different way. Harvard tried to change the world by, social, like more humanity way. But, MIT is trying to promote if you have very good idea on invention, technology, and you try to change the world, make the world a better place to live through your technology improvement. That's what they're looking for. And also they would like to see whether you would like to take risk to fulfill your dream. Because MIT is a place they're very heavy workload. You really need to have some courage to take care of your academic study over there. And Johns Hopkins, I say that they focus very much on your team work spirit, whether you're a good team player, you would like to be a supportive, caring person. That's what they look for. And at Columbia, they ask for students who have very open mind and who can join them any conversation, no matter whether it's academic or any other things, activity with your peers in the campus. Once they say that, I want students to walk into a cafeteria and sit down and jump in any conversation freely, feel comfortable. So every school have their specific requirement, their focus. When you visit them, you get to know. Yeah, if you cannot visit them, like for the school very far away, but we are fortunate to be in New York City. Many good schools have their information sessions in New York City. You just check to their website regularly and get to know when and where they're going to host information session. Like I was saying a couple of days ago, this Sunday, Johns Hopkins has a information session in Long Island. Sometimes they have the information session, like Chicago University in August. Most likely they are going to host different information sessions across the city. They have Long Island one, they have Queens, maybe Queens one, they have Manhattan, they have Westchester. No matter where you live, you can go. Pick one location, good dates for you to go. Starting from your sophomore years, or even freshman years, and try to look at it and register events online so that they know you're really interested in their school. Let me give you, we can go through this year's U Chicago's topic. U Chicago is a typical college who will give you lots of ways to demonstrate yourself creatively. Okay, their topic is famous because some people say, oh, it's very strange, or it's like I don't know how to answer it. I don't know how to do that. Let's see what we can do. Okay, this is a standard. That's the requirement. Everyone need to answer this question. Why do you want to choose Chicago? So I just highlight all the keywords. So the first thing you have the topic. I ask you to do the same, okay? Highlight the keywords. Yeah, some students get used to writing whatever they want without looking at the topic. They just take a glance and copy. That's what I want. Then when they write it, after they spend so many hours on writing an essay, they end up with say, oh, that's not what they asked for. So that could happen. Be careful. So it's a satisfy your design for the particular kind of learning. Okay, you can offer the reason about learning, your academic. Why I need this, because I like this major and your program is fantastic. I love it. Community. Okay, what kind of community you are looking for? You need a community who can support you and you can support other people. Pay attention, special attention to their community outreach program. The outreach program, they use the undergrad students to help local high school students, which is very good. And it's a growing experience. You know how to deal with people, how to support people, very good. So you can look for their program later on. And your future, okay, how about their alumni network? Do they have a strong alumni network to support you looking for intern? Research, searching for a job in the future? Is a good college for you to keep on, prepare you better for medical school, law school, business school. You can think even further away. So that's what it. So they give you this point, so you can answer this question through your essay for these 3 areas. So related to U Chicago, okay. Last time when I went to Chicago information session, and AO says that you read one fantastic essay, but later on they say, I love you so much, Yale. Be careful when you copy and paste from one school to another. Check the name. And some student would like to say, okay, I especially love what kind of hall at your campus, okay. And later on, when admission office reads the essay, you say, sorry, we don't have that hall. This hall must be some other colleges. And be sure the major you apply exists in that college, okay? I remember last time, I forgot which college at our school in information session. I talked to the admission office, and at the same time, a student come out and say, why you're looking for our school? I would like to study architecture at your school. And the admission office say, sorry, we don't have that program. So be careful. When you apply, you look for, if you really want to apply, and make sure the major you mentioned really exists in that program, okay? Okay, they have the optional essay, 6 topics to pick, okay? I would say if they don't feel happy, it's optional. That means I don't need to write. I would say for college application, if the college is optional for you, a student of brown size, an Asian student, it's a must. Okay? Don't say that it's optional so that I can see. So I can ignore it. So I can skip it. No way. You have to write. Okay. Who can read that segment? Can you read? Yeah. Loudly.
In 2015, the city of Melbourne, Australia created a tree mail service in which all of the trees in the city receive an email address so that residents could report any tree-related issues. As an unexpected result, people began to email their favorite trees, sweet and occasionally humorous letters. Imagine this has been expanded to any object, tree or otherwise in the world, and share with us the letter you sent to your favorite.
Okay, basically, you can send a letter to anything you want. Okay, it doesn't need to be a person. Okay, it shouldn't be a person. For the example, for the contest. So what shall we do? The first step is you have to imagine the things you're writing have some personality. Okay, you just imagine that it has his own life. So that's way you can write. You may have your favorite things, your computers, your pianos, your whatever you want. Maybe your laptop or your bicycle, your basketball, your robots. Yeah, you can write an essay or letter to him. But the thing is that it has to have some personality. That will be very, very interesting to read. Okay. Liz, can you keep on reading? Yeah.
You're on voyage in the 13th century, sailing a course to tempestuous seas. What if suddenly you fell off the edge of the earth?
Okay, what will happen? Can someone tell me what do you think of this topic? You fell off the earth, okay? Because the earth at that time is flat. People think it's flat. So think about it. Is it fun? But that gives you lots of space to think. There's no right or wrong answer. Just like to see how creative you are. Can you think out of box? Imagine that in the story, like some fairy tale, right? And they probably think there's a big hole, right? Someone jumped in the hole and like keep on falling, and it's endless hole. You can imagine that. When you jumped from the edge of the earth, what did you see? How did you feel? Have you seen any stranger things? You can imagine. Basically, it looks hard, but actually it's easier because you can write whatever you want. Okay, that's very good for students who learn many foreign languages. Okay, they want you to create a certain word, use whatever word you think. Latin, like we have a very good foreign language program. Many students here learn English, Spanish, Chinese. Okay, even some language you used to learn, but you stop learning in brown science. So you can still apply those knowledge. It will be fun to make some word, and also you have to say why you build words like that. It could be related to your passion, your interest, or it tests your understanding on different culture too. Your knowledge about the history or other countries would be fantastic to share. Okay, number 4. So create your own sphere. It's not a mini, mo, right? So you have to imagine that how you solve the problem when you say that spell and everything turns perfect. That still tests your creativity. Okay. So that's a very fun story to write. Basically, it looks difficult. It is easier because you basically can write anything. And some schools, like U Chicago, also give you a chance to provide an essay, but not on writing, not on purely writing. You can paint. You can present an artwork, and with a short description with 300 words, and to demonstrate to yourself. Many kids have the talent in arts, and U Chicago is not the only one who give you a chance to paint, to drawing, or take a photo to demonstrate yourself in an artist way. So it's fun. I saw that similar topic in other colleges last year, so it's good. Last one, and also the best one. You can write whatever you have. You can have your own prompt. The Chicago prompts, they collect every year from their students, like college students, and alumni, and professor. Anyone can think about a topic and send the topic to admission office. They'll pick. So that's why every year they have very fantastic idea on essay writing. So this is you can share a specific story about yourself. Okay, Emory. I use Emory as an example because its essay prompt very typical among the colleges. You can see similar topics in other schools. Okay, this year they ask you to select 2 topics from the 4. The first one is, what's your favorite fiction or non-fiction book? Probably you can like work, so it's a work, it's not book, sorry. It could be a film, book, TV show, album, poem, or play. So it's a full spectrum. You can pick anything, like music, you can share the music, you can share the storybook, fiction, movie, TV show, anything. So, and the second one, lots of schools ask for, is like, what motivates you to learn? What kind of learner you are? You're a visual learner, or what motivates? Is like some school ask you, say, in what situation you will learn best? Okay, similar questions. So you need to think about, maybe I work better when I have lab science, and I'm a hands-on person. I like learning by seeing demo or something. Maybe some people say, I'm a visual person. I really like to watch a video in order to understand everything. And some people will say, okay, I like reading, and by reading a lot, I can learn the subject already. So, okay, the third one is very common topic, like it's about your contribution to the college. Like in the interview, they always is a regular question to ask. What can you do? What can you bring? What can you contribute to campus? Then you're starting from your extracurricular, if you have done many, in Brown Science. Oh yeah, I have been on the concert band for 4 years. So it's perfect for me to join you symphony or concert band or chamber music club. I would like to keep on playing my instrument, and I would love to share my love about music. That's perfect. And if you were in a sports team, they say, okay, fine. I have played volleyball for 3 years. I really want to try out for your varsity team. If not, I can play in your volleyball club. So that's perfect answer. And I love serving people. I love volunteer. So you happen to have tutoring class, tutoring service for low-income family, high school students. I would love to join you. That's what I can bring. Or something related to your background, okay? I was born and raised in China. I moved to US recently. So I have experience in studying and living in both countries. So I understand how it feels for the people who just moving into a new country. So I would like to help the international student at your campus, to share my experience, to support them, to help them on English. That's what you can do. And just because I have the background, international background, so I can deal with people with different culture easily, especially in Brown Science, give you this background, because Brown Science have diversified student body. For the past 3 years, I have make friends from across the whole world. In my circle of friends, I have someone coming from China, someone coming from Korea. I have someone in US, and someone probably in East European, and even we have different cultural background. I'm happy to be with them. I got inspired all the time by the different opinion, and I love their food, and I love to learn their language. That give me a big advantage so that I can be a very positive member at your dorm life. Okay, I can be supportive. That's what you can do. I love computer science, and I love to go into your work club. Okay, what kind of organization? I like the finance a lot, and I happen to see your have organization or seminar about this topic. I happen to know somebody, or Brown Science have very good alumni network. I would like to invite one famous alumni from Brown Science to make a speech, to be the speaker in your seminar, right? That's what you can do. I happen to work for this lab for a long time, and I believe my mentor will be happy to give academic introduction seminar at a college to let people know of his new discovery. That's also a contribution. So I give you a few examples. Okay. The third one, in the age of the social media, what does engage with integrated look like for you? Okay, that's about your digital age. This is a question I would say a lot of college will ask in the future. Probably not in 2018, but in the future, they are going to ask. Because many students, I would say many students, have to give up their college study because they are so addictive to the social media, computer games. I believe college knows that. Personally, I know some students, they are perfectly fine, they are excellent, they are smart, they have ability, they have potential, but they were ruled by computer games. It becomes addictive. Because when students go into a brand new environment, and they need face a transition, sometimes the virtual world gives them a place to escape from the real life. Right? If they cannot make friends in real life, they're going to the computer game world and try to find friends over there, and they become powerful in another world. So that's why they gradually just going to that, stay more time in the computer. So I would say in the future, this kind of topic of essay will be more. And the college want to see what's your attitude about your computer game computer usage. Can you use the internet resource wisely? Can you make the right decision, wise decision? Because they don't want to see like freshmen and drop off the college after first year and they will never come back, because their return rate is very important. It will be important for their ranking, for their school performers. And people will ask, okay, how many percentage of students come back for the second year? Some college only have 60% or 70% students come back for the second year. There must be a reason. Either the cost load is too heavy, or they probably didn't select the right person to come in. So this one will be more important. This type of question will be more important in the future. Okay, I now give you some tips or suggestions. Okay, I would say for the whole workshop, we just went through the topic analysis in different type of essay. It's not complete, I would say, because I cannot cover all of topics in 2 hours. For you, I would say, the first step is brainstorm, okay? Once you got the topic, highlight your keywords and brainstorm. You can brainstorm just yourself, but I would say with help of your parents and friends will be more efficient, because they have different view. Right? You see yourself, I'm normal. Everybody else in Bronson is better than me, right? You can see, but college want to see the best part of you. So your parents, your friends may let you know, oh yeah, you are special. You are very good at this. You're very good at that. So talk to them, share with them your concerns. Say, what's the best part of myself? What shall I let college admission office know about me? So you can talk to your counselor, friends, parents. Another way is you can read a couple sample essays. There are a few books. Some books called 50 Successful Ivy League Essays or 50 Successful Harvard Essays. They are good examples. Yeah, they are published. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from public library. You can even publish the PDF files on the internet for the older edition. You can see it. But I will say how to say that. Before I let my student to read those essays, sometimes I hesitate because I don't want the student's mind to be limited by this story. Some students say, okay, oh, this story get him into Chicago, and I have a similar story. I can write those. No, I want you to have your own story, okay? Don't say, okay, they're talking about the experience about new immigrant life. I remember on one of the book, one student shared his essay is talking about how his father came to U.S. and he was carried like $40 US dollar in his pocket and come to US. In this way, he survived and find a new job, get a new life in the new land. And I would say once the book is published, the second year, there are tons of the essay like that. Because all parents come to US in the similar way. They carried like not 40 or $400, 2 luggage, they move in, right? So don't copy, don't duplicate the story. They only give you an idea. That means this story is attractive. Maybe you have a similar or exactly the same, but if somebody else wrote it, try to find something else. So don't limit yourself. And also, there are lots of people post their essay online. They claim, okay, in College Confidential or Reddit, they say, okay, I'm accepted by Stanford University or some university. Here are my essays. I would say if you can use the sample essay on the official side, like Johns Hopkins, they post some sample essay really verified by their admission office, or sample essay publisher, officially published by the college. I will recognize those because I don't really trust people just post online saying, here is the essay that got me into Princeton. Because some essay I read is really terrible. It's not, probably by some luck, probably the student have very strong hard data to support his college application. Otherwise, by purely reading their essay, I really don't think it's a good idea to write essay like that. So be careful. What you can learn is the layout of the essay, because you need to learn how to maximize the usage of 650 words. The layout is very, very important. How much weight they put on the experience and the past, present, and the future. That's the way you should learn. For the first couple of few drafts, okay, don't think too much about word count. Yeah, because some students say, 650 words, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell a story in 650 words. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I write this way or that way. Don't think about it. For the first couple drafts, probably you can limit the 650 words, probably 1.5 pages, okay? 1.5 pages, that's around the number. You don't worry too much. I usually encourage students to write whatever they want. First draft, maybe 800 words, 1,000 words. Later on, you can cut. You can pick whatever is most important things and put it into the essay. The first draft should run freely, so you can let your think flow smoothly, and put whatever you want on a table, type in a document. Okay, so later on you can cut, you can squeeze. Last year when I tutored a student from China, same story, 650 words common app. Then he tried to later on use the same story for University of California, but California's word count is only 400. So from 400 or 300. So later on we have different version. The same story, we have 650 word version, we have 600 word version, we have 500 word version, we even have 400. So there's a space you can squeeze. So no problem. So don't worry about that. The first important thing is your story. Be the best of yourself. I would say many people tell you be yourself. I would say college application is the chance to be the best of yourself. Take out the best part of you, present it. Okay, the yourself, maybe be yourself. You play computer games for 12 hours per week. I don't think it's nice to put in college application. If you like to try, go ahead, take your risk, but it's definitely not. So be the best of yourself. And word smart. Word smart, that means you have to be like some college only give you 100 words to answer one question. In this short essay, there is no space for you to tell the whole story. You have to learn how to fully use those 100 words. So this year I started review some essay and questionnaire for counselors, for teachers. Some students just look like he writes a lot, like 5 sentences. I found 4 of them are not useful, can get rid of it. So when you have the question like you have to answer with 100 words, you really have to be careful. Word smart is very important. 650 words, if you use them smartly, they can tell a lot about you. But if you waste of the words, it's just very watery essay. Doesn't tell too much about yourself, okay? Okay. When you reach to the final draft, you have to fully respect their word count requirement. I tell you right now, all the application is digitalized. So they're going to truncate essay. 650 words, sharp, and it's done. And some school try to test whether you are word smart because they say, okay, this question, if you cannot explain it very clearly within 100 words, they have a second thought about your skill on language. So be careful. And who can edit your essay? I believe many junior students start their essay class in English class in June, most students. And starting from senior years, the English class, teacher will from time to time to train the student to write, give them time to write on their essay, and even give them time to edit essay, like mutually. Like you will get your student, your classmate to edit your essay or give you some feedback. One way is ask your English teacher. Not only your English teacher in your senior year, you can ask your teacher in freshman, sophomore, and junior years. But in order to do that, be quick, be ready. That's why I ask my students to finish the first draft of essays by the end of summer, so that they can bring their draft to the teacher at the beginning of the year and say, can you take a look at it? Your counselor can do that too. But don't wait too much, because probably in 2 weeks, they are become fully engaged to writing the recommendation letters for everyone. You know how many recommendations they are going to write. One teacher probably can write up to 60 to 70 recommendation letter before November 1st. So they won't have time. In our guidance counselor, and starting from, I would say, October, they probably have one staff available to look at your essay. But people who review your essay will not completely rewrite your story. They want to keep your voice and your story. They probably take a look at it to fix some grammar issue and give you some feedback. Say, okay, if I were you, I would write this story in this way. So don't expect they are going to rewrite you or polish your essay in a very nice way. That's not their job. Commercially, they do have some service. I believe the year before last year, in 2017, our alumni foundation paid money to a company called Story 2, I believe, called Story 2. I think last year is like in late November or December. They give each student one free chance to edit their essay. It's paid by Alumni Association, but you only get one essay edited. So not all of them. They do have some commercial service. I know there's a website called College Wine. Some parents use it. The feedback is different. It all depends who will pick up your essay. Some will edit your essay very well. Some just doesn't help at all. So if you really need help on the college essay and your parents cannot find a good one, just let me know. Then I probably can find out who can help you. Either some college student for very good college, or somebody else what I privately know. So try to help you at the last minute.